SuperCoach Pro. Today's video, we're doing a round 5 SuperCoach review of my side. So scored 2-3-2-9, top 6% score for the round. Slowly climbing back in the ranks where we would want to be better than top 50k, but at least we jumped 20,000 spots. 10 values looking pretty high. I only used one trade to replace Doherty. Now, before I do get stuck in the side, I missed Saturday's game. I was on a very important Tinder date, and instead of driving in, I thought I'd catch a bus and train. Never doing that again when there's works on the train line. So it almost took me 2 hours to get there. Now my phone, I've had it for 3 years. I was being a bit of a tight ass, didn't want to upgrade it. And it starts dying right when I get to Flinders at about 12 o'clock. I'm waiting and she's messaging me and I can't actually text her back. I'm thinking, how is she going to know where I am? I've never met before. We've been talking for a while. I know what she looks like, obviously, because I got her on Instagram and all that kind of thing. And my phone just wouldn't have a bar of it. It just decided to poop itself on the day. I'm thinking, I just come out almost 2 hours out of my way. And yeah, surprisingly, she actually noticed me. She didn't say, "Hey, SuperCoach Pro, is that you?" Because that would have been weird as heck. But she watches some of my videos. So anyway, luckily she saw me where those big clocks are outside of Flinders Street. And yeah, we went and did some bowling. I had a few drinks at the end of the night. And we went to the aquarium as well. So big day. I was pretty knackered. So for my lack of knowledge for the Saturday games, I just wanted to have a break for a bit because normally I do watch, 7 or 8 out of 9 games per weekend, and it does get pretty taxing, especially because there is half a year of it. So yeah, day went well, and hopefully I'll see her this week at some point. So anyway, maybe I should do a side Tinder channel because I have some tips. They're not really just playing. So start off in the back line. Dacos, my boy, 128. Played really well, as always, averaging 133. That's insane now. I didn't predict that at the start. I thought he'd actually cop more of a tag and more of an attention. That's why I didn't start him. So silly for me not to start him, but he's a second-year player, and how many players honestly go off in their second year? And also Clayton Oliver and, 1% of players that do that. So, yeah, amazing pick. Now, Doherty, I didn't have enough money to go up to Dawson with one trade. I didn't want to waste 2 trades. Yeah, I lost 15, 20 points maybe this week, but he was the only player that can match it with Dawson's ceiling. As we've seen, he's been put through the midfield. Dawson has, and even in a thumping win, Stewart still manages to get these kick-ins and intercepts all day. So I started with him, traded him out to Ridley, and then Ridley got injured. No, sorry. Stewart got injured. Ridley sucked, so I brought him back in. So, yeah, it's sort of annoying that Chris Scott didn't tell us before that it was only going to be a week or two. I would have held. I wouldn't have traded if that was the case. And, yeah, it's just now I'm thinking about grabbing Jake Lloyd, who we'll talk about maybe later. His break-even's still cheap enough. Did he go up in price? He did so. He went up 28k. I don't know why it's saying 2. Okay, from 2.8 minus from his starting price. That's what that means. Anyway, he got a break even on 121, which he'll probably make it anyway because Sydney couldn't kick straight against the Tigers, and we just suck this year. I'm a bit everywhere. It is like almost 11:30 at night. Stocker, his stock's going up. 78, good game from him. He'll probably be a player on a last trade out sort of thing until he sort of break even game from here on out, really. Example, if you just press SuperCoach Plus, pay for it. Honestly, don't be a tight ass. Just pay for it. Shorty, if you watch these videos, pay for SuperCoach Gold. None of this footy fan, footy wire crap. Just do it this way. Anyway, break even of 89 McKenzie. So that's why you buy the gold. I'll be playing break-even games with rookies. That's where I was detouring off to. Maybe I've got ADHD because I'm so random tonight. Gimby 51 got a poke in the eye. Not good. I guess he didn't see that happening. And then he got subbed off at the third quarter, end of third quarter, I believe. So he's a trade for me in case they start resting him early on. McKenna 55. I was on my Tinder day, so I have no idea what's going on with McKenna. I'm assuming he lost his role for the kickouts for Rich. So maybe we field Wilmot over McKenna this week, not really sure. Liam Jones, now this is interesting, right? I'm having lunch with this beautiful lady, and I'm going, no. Wilmot has scored 68. I was meant to play him against North Melbourne. Now I've got to field Jones against Port Adelaide, and I assumed it was going to be wet on Saturday. So I'm like, now I'm going to get a stupid 60 or a 50. I'm going to lose 15, 20 points, and that matters every week. I'm looking at my score, and I'm just like, excuse me, don't mind if I check my SuperCoach. Anyway, 88. I thought, you brilliant. You come through. This is what you're talking about. This is what I want, Jones. Anyway, real roller coaster, Jones, and you're confusing me, but I still love you. Wilmot 68, with Cowan 42. Cowan, what are you doing, mate? Honestly, I thought with Doherty's role, not being on the park, so to speak, I thought he'd deliver a little bit more, but we could probably drop him at some point, maybe next week. Laird 135, love this, but the man's averaging 108 for a price tag. I paid $700,000 for this guy. I should have went Oliver. I got scared in the preseason. They said, we want to run Rivers through the midfield. This is Goodwin. We want to run Pickett through the midfield. So I was like, Clayton Oliver, less CBAs. Overthought it. Just don't overthink in SuperCoach. Pick who's been doing it for the longest consistent amount of time, and don't pick players under 30. So, yeah, smashed it at 135. I'm happy about Laird, doing Laird things there. I wish he kicked it a bit more. And he does – a lot of his teammates burn him. I feel like you think about that with every player that you own when you're watching a game. Bontempelli, 145, fantastic from that man against Port Adelaide. Killed it. So, Green. I hate Green. 97, underwhelming for Primo in the midfield, I feel. Wouldn't be sideways in use, just like an M8 at this point, but he got tagged in the last quarter. And Carnell tagged the big boy. So, interesting. Good game, that too. I got 7 out of 9 tips this week. I only missed Essendon and Melbourne, and what was the other game I missed? The Thursday night game, maybe? Anyway, beside the point, Rosie, 93. Love that. I know it's not great, but he's still going to be top 6 forward. Setterfield, 91. Underwhelming. Don't know what happened. Tell me what happened to Setterfield. Why does he have hot starts and then go missing and spend a lot of bench time? Maybe he's still injured, but I'm holding him. People saying trade Setterfield out, and I don't get it. If he's your worst trade out, mate, you're probably in the top 500 sitting there, but same with Hopper. If you want to trade out Hopper, you're also a nuffy. Ashcroft, 72. It's really annoying. I know you shouldn't have too much high expectations for a first-year player, but come on, Ashcroft. Come on. Give him some CBAs, Fagan. What are you doing? Anyway, I did the loophole. So what you do is you play a non-playing player, use the VC, but you've got to make sure your emergency score's decent enough as well. So you sort of, it's a catch-22. If Holmes had scored 30 or 20, I probably wouldn't have wanted the VC and Laird. So I had to really make sure that plus the double captain worked in my favour. And it did, because I beat Baker and I beat McKenzie being a sub. So rookie roulette worked for once, and this is what happened when you get all your rookies, you score 2 threes, you don't get any injuries, you score 2 threes. But Josh Bruce at F6 again, stuck my side. But anyway, these guys got to go at some point. It's upgrade season just about. And English, man, I'm glad I paid up for him when we got injured. DCAM got injured, because he's killing it. 139, averaging 139. If you do not own this bloke, get him in. Don't ruin your side, but get him in. Marshall, 123. Why are people still thinking about trading him because he got 96 last week and subbed off? It's okay. I'm holding him. Should have held Sean Darcy in hindsight, but the split, we freak out over one game and we want to trade a player. Bad idea. Bad freaking idea. Radaglia, 88. Are you okay, mate? You've been playing really well the last 2 games. And I don't know why. Is it because Stewart's back there? Is he a bit more confident? He's not having to play. He sort of played loose. He was playing the Stewart role. So maybe Stewart helps Radaglia score. Not maybe, he does. Anyway, bench players, who cares? Dunkley, I've only had 2 coffees today. 133, love it. I saw a bloke the other week go, go ahead and start Dunkley. Look at him. Mate, he's averaging 110 now. Go get him. Try to grab him now, mate. Anyway, Taranto 115, averaging 107. Even with Dunkley's poor scores, he's still averaging Taranto, and Taranto has not missed a beat. That's insane. The ceiling to be a VC, maybe not this year, but Taranto, yeah, consistent, finds the ball, doesn't know what a drop punt is, and cannot kick the goal, set shot. Not talking about that. Tigers suck. We're probably going to finish bottom 6. I'm going to microfly with my membership, like someone said to me on Twitter the other day. Stuff you, whoever that was. Goulden, 88. Love it. But he's soft. Free kicks, trying to dark, trying to. If I get comments saying Goulden is not soft, I'll 1v1 you in the car park. Whichever car park. Zeeble 106, fantastic. If you haven't already noticed, DPP is kicked in, and by the way. So you can move your players back, fourth, midfield, whatever they've got eligible. Where you see Mackenzie here does. Wilmot's got midfield eligibility. Mackenzie's got forward. And these guys, this is why I bought Zeeble in a few weeks ago. 106. He's finally averaging what I need him to average. So he got a 78, 92, and now 106 from in the last 3 games. And he looks like he could be a keeper. Still at a very, very good price. Get him in. There's going to be a lot of ball in North Melbourne's back line. Grab him. She's a 100. He is a keeper. Anyway, Josh Bruce, ribs. I thought Jones and Bruce might play okay. So I thought, run the roulette, play them both in the same night. If they both break my heart, it's okay. One breaks my heart, the other doesn't. Injury. F6, injury. So this week, we're moving Rosie to the forward line and not worrying about F6. We're going to have a heart attack in the midfield instead. That's what we're going to do. So, Amadi, Hammy, kicked 2 goals in that first quarter. He was on 36 points. I thought, bench him. We've done this. We're stuck with my man. He's on 36. He's going to make more cash from me. And then he doesn't lead up to the ball. I'm thinking, what is wrong with this guy? He had a clear lead up. I'm confused because I want Richmond to win, but he doesn't go for a lead up. It's because he's done a high hammy. And he did not look okay. So, you really hurt me, Amani. I'm never picking a key forward who can turn it on, but just he's in a contract. I really feel for this bloke and my SuperCoach side because stuff you, Amani. I burn a trade by bringing you in. You didn't give me a 21. So I hold you for 1 week because I don't want to trade out just on impulse. And now you get injured. I hate you. And Fergus Green, 76. Can we just talk about how good that player is? He is underrated for a SuperCoach pick. I put on Twitter a poll between these 3 who to field, and I didn't listen to Twitter again. I was like, nah, you guys are wrong. Josh Bruce won't be the better scorer. Everyone went Green. Get yourself a Twitter account, put these opinions on in those polls, and 9 times out of 10, they're pretty decent. So Fergus Green should have been there. Maybe, what do I lose? 34 points there. Back line, let's hypothetically lose 13 points there. So I'll lose about 50 points. Could have had a really, really big week. 16, 17 points, whatever. Anyway, I could have had an extra 56 points, 50 or 60 points on top of my score, but that's rookie roulette. So no point going, I filled wrong rookies, because that's what SuperCoach is. It's based on your knowledge on who you think will score better out of rookie roulette. So not one to blame that. It's just whatever. Sometimes you can't see injuries happening. So what we're doing with my trades, sorry I didn't do a preview again, honestly. I didn't know what I was doing with my trades. That stupid Friday game at 5 p.m. I finished work at 5 p.m. and the game started, and I was like, no point doing a preview. So it's the first preview I've missed in 2.5 years of SuperCoach. So I do apologise to all the viewers and subs out there. I won't miss a preview or review again. So what we're going to do on the next video, we'll have a look at more to what we're going to do with the side. But just quickly, I've sort of thought about it. So for me, Kimby and Mackenzie's break-evens a little bit hair yarn. So, excuse me, we're getting rid of those 2. Now, it doesn't really matter which way we go. We can trade Marnie or Bruce, doesn't really matter. Because I want to probably hold Bruce because I want to see what's wrong with his ribs. Whereas the hammy, I know he's gone. Maybe ribs, he can come back in a fortnight time and I might be lucky and can swing him up here and do some fancy things. So now the rookies are the interesting thing too. They're not, there's no standing out-ish ones. Now my first target, I don't got enough more. I was going to say money to do a crazy upgrade in midfield, and there's no one I want on the decline. But I do like Jake Orr in the back line. I think he's going to be top 6. So I'm thinking something like this. Now Blake is still taking kick out. So is Lloyd. He's still just Tom Stewarting without being Tom Stewart. I don't know how these guys get a role in the team by just being so defenseless sometimes. Not saying Stewart and Lloyd are, but sometimes you're like, I get how good they are offensively, but defensively, sometimes they just leak goals. Anyway, so we want to maximise our output in the forward line, and we could probably field Green at F6, but you can't trust Green on every given week. He plays well when they win. He plays okay when they lose. But I would rather this forward line be pretty safe and then run the roulette rookie midfield as we will. So I thought about Ned Moyle, but I thought he's not going to make enough cash unless Witts is out for another 4 or 5 weeks. So there's so many options in this midfield to go from. And I'm still pretty uncertain, if I'm honest, to what I want to do. It's more about job security for this because we're going to need these rookies now for the buys. So I'm kind of thinking job security over any other factor. But I do not know what their job security is like. Ned Long played a good game today. Now, I don't want to bring in a guy that's not on the bubble as yet. I can't bring this bloke in because I can't grab 2 midfielders for that price. There's no 103 midfielders playing this week. So Luke Edwards is 16 and 10 touches respectively. Don't know his job security in West Coast. They're a bit shaky. Not sure. I know he's 21 years old. He's played a handful of games. I just don't know. Not sure. Not sold on that. Greg Clark is too expensive for me in particular. Yeah, Corey Wagner, interesting one. I know he's pretty injury prone, so I'm not a massive fan over that. But there's 2 guys I'm looking at. And maybe Freo and Sydney supporters can jump in. Matthew Johnson does worry me because of Will Brody being in and out of the side at the moment. And Matt Roberts has been sub so many times this year already. He scored 93 off 13 or 14 touches against Richmond. Sydney got issues injury-wise, and he's got DPP status. So worse, he becomes a loophole. But he's just coming off a 93 in his system, and Johnson's coming off with a 67. So those numbers will be in there for the next couple of weeks. Complete the side. This is what it looks like. Gimby, Mackenzie, and Marnie. Now, I'm only upgrading my side by 1 player, and I'm not really banking much cash. So I don't feel great. You could go the other way and grab 2 risky picks. Like, I might not give it away this week, but there's a guy for 300 and something in the back line that I'm looking at. But I just don't think it's going to be as consistent as what other people may think. And he's number 9 draft pick a few years ago. Quite some years ago. Anyway, so Chuck Rosie in the forward line because I'm not messing with F6 ever again. Crazy gets to midnight, the crazier I feel. And then I don't know. I don't know what to do here. I think I worked it out before by doing these trades. Jones has the capability of throwing up a stinker. So if he doesn't, I can switch Constable to Wilmot, grab Jones to score. But we're not captaining Constable. I can also loophole the Fremantle and Doggies game. So I'm not really sure. Doggies midfielders seem to take away, but I don't like his role. At least Johnson's sort of going to get CBA. So could roll the dice and hope they both don't go off tap, or else then I'm really risking it with who I play on field. Who to Carlton? I think that's St Kilda, who's wingers, Hill. So then it's just rookie roulette from here on out. I probably don't want to field Roberts, even though that 93 looks juicy. Richmond just didn't turn up at all. And I've got, yeah, okay. So there's not much I can do, to be honest. So if I'm looking at it this way and you've got something similar, probably don't mind fielding Wilmots here for now. Now, what do I prefer? Collins against St Kilda. Who do doggies play? I don't know about this spot, really. St Kilda look good. And Sydney play Geelong midfield. Yeah, I really don't know. So I might do a Twitter poll on this. So that is the side. We've got to be using a boost regardless. The 4-9 looks better now that I've stopped mucking around with it, stop trying to be too fancy. Glad I didn't grab Sard. I was looking at Sard actually, but the Tom Stewart replacement seems to be the better long-term one because I didn't want to use a second trade to grab Dawson. VC and C, also pretty unsure of this. Lucky we've got Constable for this. So we can use any game. So head-to-head, I probably wouldn't mind Laird as a VC, but I don't know who I'd actually use him if he didn't go off. No Carlton players on my side or St Kilda that I'm confident with. North Melbourne and Gold Coast, no. Melbourne, Richmond, there's any Melbourne players. Man, if you got Oliver, Petrarca, or Grundy, they are seaworthy. Would go Dacos. I don't mind that. The Essendon tag. I don't think Essendon do tag. Could run Laird into Dacos because I'm worried about the Aish tag. Aish is too small though to tag a Bonds, isn't he? Aish tagged Laird. Laird's a small man. I don't know. We'll think about this later. Maybe go to scoring history, see what Laird does against the Crows. Sorry, against Hawthorn. What does he do against Hawthorn, boys? Oh, he loves a good hawk. Now, let's not worry about history against Essendon. We're going to play them what? Twice? Oh. No, it's no good. But history of a first-year player, Dacos didn't score as many tons as you actually probably think out there. Anyway, so it might be that. Bond, what do you normally do, Bond? Just this H tag is what worrying me out of it. I'm overthinking. Doesn't love Fremantle, even at Marvel. Yeah, okay. So maybe we run Laird into Dacos at this stage, or English against Darcy. We know English is going to beat Darcy around to get round, but with no hit outs, Darcy is going to kill him. Yep, I don't like that pick. I could not do that to myself. I don't trust Green. This is why you now upgrade your side. You need captain movie options. So I think we're running Laird into Dacos. And my side is something like that. All right, sorry for the weird, different rad tonight. I'm not drunk. I just had a big weekend. So that is my review for the rounds. If you have any trade comments or any VCC options, chuck them in the comments. I'll go through them. I'll sort them out and always reply to you guys. And I will do a video with SDS SuperCoach Tuesday or Wednesday, depending when we're both free, because I do Muay Thai and gym during the weekdays. So it is hard to always get the right times at the same time. So anyway, I'll leave it there. If you like the video, press like, leave a thumbs